Hello again, people. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Footy Show YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well again today. So then, guys, it's that time of the week. It's your pre-match thoughts video for Leeds United versus Spurs at Ellen Road tomorrow afternoon. It's the early kickoff, 12:30. So we've got a lot to get through about this game and just my overall thoughts on how I think it will go. So just before I get into that, guys, please smash that like button as always, and please subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into it. So then, guys, first of all, I just want to say I am really worried about this one, if I'm honest with you, especially after the Brighton game and how poor that we played in that one. I know Spurs have got their own issues off the pitch at the minute in terms of finding a manager and the fans wanting the ownership out and things like that. But in terms of the players that they have, obviously, we know the players they have. We know the players that can hurt us if we're having an off day. So from a Spurs perspective then, as I've briefly just touched upon there, Spurs are an absolute shambles of a club at the moment in terms of the ownership. You know, the fans protesting against the ownership. They've not got any sort of decent coaches on the short list to become their new manager. Obviously, there was Nagelsmann, but he's now signed for Bayern to begin next season. I've heard the likes of Graham Potter, Scott Parker. I mean, to go from Jose Mourinho to one of them is a major step down. I can kind of understand the Graham Potter link, but Scott Parker is just a no-no for me. If you're Spurs and you've just let Jose go, you do not want to be going and getting Scott Parker, because then that just automatically screams out rebuild, which, yeah, they do need a bit of a rebuild, but I think they need a better man who's more experienced to do that rebuild. As for the players, though, obviously the major threat is the front three of Son, Kane and Bale. We all know what they can do to us on their day. Coming in off of the back of a really good result against Sheffield United, 4-0. Bale got a hat-trick and Son got on the score sheet as well. So, you know, they're in good form coming into this one, which, again, is what worries me. But the main battle of the game that's worrying me is the midfield battle, because obviously we're hearing that potentially Calvin Phillips is going to be out again. So that means more than likely we're going to see Koch come in to play in his place again, as he did at Brighton. Now, he did okay against Brighton, I guess, in terms of his defensive display. You know, he was about and put himself in positions to block the ball and make some good tackles, but his passing was poor. So if he is there tomorrow, you know, the main thing that we see from KP is his passing ability as well as his defensive duties. So let's just hope that Koch, can just actually pass the ball right. And I hope that all the players have got their boots on properly for this one, because the first touch against Brighton was shocking. Just receiving simple balls into feet was proving to be very difficult, which is not good enough at all. So hopefully that improves. But yeah, the thought of Ndombele running at our defence/midfield kind of scares me a little bit, because he's a really good player and can cause us some serious damage in that midfield. I think Calvin would have been able to cope with him, but we'll see if Koch can. But yeah, to summarise from a Spurs perspective, I mean, they're coming into some okay form. It's still kind of mathematically possible that they can get top four. I don't think it'll happen even if they beat us tomorrow. But they'll have a point to prove. Ryan Mason's obviously wanting to make a name for himself as a manager. I'd like to think Bielsa has enough to outwit him, though. So then, guys, from a Leeds United point of view, you know, we're hearing that Calvin Phillips is potentially out. We're hearing Rafinha is definitely out. We're hearing that Costa is out for the season. So we're quite injury struck at the moment. I just hope that we've got the heart to get through that and potentially at least get a point against Spurs rather than get beat. I have got my head around the fact that we may lose this game. As long as it's not as bad as Brighton, then I'm okay. You expect Koch to come into the Phillips role as he did against Brighton, and now that Costa and Rafinha are both out, you would expect Poveda to play on the right and have Dallas back in the middle with either Click or Tyler Roberts. I just hope the whole team has a better game. You know, we've got Coops back as well after suspension. Pascal will probably drop to the bench in that case. Rodrigo should still be on the bench for me, as I thought he was woeful when he came on against Brighton. He offered nothing whatsoever. As for strikers, I hope Bamford can get back on the score sheet as well. It's been a while. Hopefully he can get some confidence back and bag himself a goal. And let's just try and halt their top 4 hopes, because that's what they'll be coming to Ellen Road for. They'll be wanting 3 points to gain further up the table to try and get that top 4. I know that sounds like an obvious thing to say, but mathematically it's still possible for them, but I don't think it is realistically. But they won't be thinking like that, and we need to put a stop to that immediately. And let's just hope that Bielsa can outwit Ryan Mason. He should be able to, as he's got way more experience, but I'm sure that we'll find out. So then, guys, just to summarise, my prediction for this game, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think there's a few goals in this game, but I don't think anyone's going to win. I think it will be a draw. On the other side of the coin, you know, like I said, I have accepted that Leeds could lose this and we could be on the end of an hiding. But I just hope that's not the case and we defend a lot better and create more chances, which I think we will. So that's why I am going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, as always, comment your opinions, like the video, and please subscribe if you're brand new. And I'll see you in the post-match video for this game, guys. Thank you.